Hi guys, my name is Matti Sulanto and I'm a photographer. Welcome to another video. This time we're gonna take a look at this fantastic looking, very affordable 85mm f1.8 lens. This is the AstrHori 85 f1.8 and this is their first autofocus lens. This is available for the Nikon Z mount and the Sony E mount, and this is a full frame lens. Did I say that already? Maybe I did. Anyway, it's a full frame lens and I've been shooting my test pictures on the Nikon Z5 camera. This lens looks absolutely awesome, very street credible. It's all metal construction and it has this wide, beautiful knurled manual focus ring. The only cheap feeling part in this lens is the lens shade, which feels like it's made of cheap plastic, but it doesn't really matter. It does its job just fine. The only downside when it comes to the design or build quality is the size and weight. This is quite a heavy lens and also quite big. The filter thread is 72mm, so I would not recommend this on any small camera body. On the Z5 this feels just fine and balanced because the Z5 has a generous grip and it's not the smallest camera body. The feature set is very basic. But this is a budget lens after all. There is no weather sealing, no aperture ring, no buttons. Just this beautiful knurled manual focus ring. However, the ring is so stiff to turn that it's practically useless. And at least on my camera, when I move the focus ring, the lens moves in the mount and sometimes it loses the contact to the camera because the contacts in the mount, they don't align anymore because the lens moved just that tiny bit too much when I turn the focus ring. So unfortunately the focus ring is useless even though it looks beautiful. So far this looks pretty good for a $249 lens. Feels good, looks good, and everything works except for the manual focus ring. But that's not a big deal because most of us, we only need or want autofocus. But what about the optical performance? Whenever I get a new lens, I go out, I take a casual short photo walk near my apartment here in Helsinki. And I take a few snapshots, just snapshots, to get some kind of an idea of the optical performance of the lens. And then when I take my actual photo walk and shoot the pictures that I share in my video, then I know sort of what to expect. However, with this lens, I only took those casual snapshots and nothing else. Because unfortunately this lens is abysmal when it comes to the optical performance. This is one of the worst lenses I have seen for a long time. It could be that this is just a bad copy, but if the sample variation is that big, it's hard to recommend this lens. I mean, at wide open f1.8 aperture, I can't get any kind of a sharp picture. Everything is just blur. There is a small section in the very middle of the frame that looks almost sharp, but everything else is just a blurry mess. And if I stop down even to f8, still the right side of the frame is soft because I think this is also a little bit asymmetrical. I have to go to f11 to get something that is remotely sharp across the frame or uniform across the frame. And I'm not saying that sharpness is the most important thing in a photograph, but if you buy a lens like this, I think you are allowed to expect some sort of sharp pictures, even wide open, at least in the middle part of the frame. And by about f4 or f5.6 you should get really sharp results across the frame. This is an 85 f1.8. This is nothing exotic or nothing unusual. These kind of lenses have been around forever, and usually if you pick any 85, it's decent optically. It's usually pretty decent or very good. This lens is so bad, at least this sample is so bad, that I didn't want to go out and take my usual photo walk with this lens. And I think it's really a shame, because the lens looks beautiful, it feels beautiful, except for the very stiff manual focus ring. And it's AstrHori's first autofocus lens, and even the autofocus seems to work. But the optical performance is, I don't know, it's just something that I can't even describe politely. I'm just gonna say it's pretty bad. Okay, I figured out something positive. Based on these two snapshots, these are not great pictures, but based on these, I'd say that if you are into nature close-up photography and you love that soft, dreamy look, you might be able to make this lens work for you. So unfortunately, I cannot recommend this lens, even if the price is only $249 for the Nikon Z version. The Sony E-mount version is a little bit more expensive. I think it's $279 or something. Still very affordable. But if the optical performance is something like this, it's just waste of money simply. Yes, this might be just a bad copy, and there might be a good copy out there somewhere. But if you order one and you get a lens like this, you are not going to be happy. So my advice is buy another 85. There are so many other 85 f1.8 lenses available. I'm so sorry, but this is my verdict with this lens. I hope this was useful or helpful, and if it was, please do consider buying me a cup of coffee. There's a link down below if you don't live in Finland. Thanks so much, and I'll definitely see you soon in the next video.